Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be featuring some teams I used successfully on stream using this 30-second clock. I think having a decent team composition and being very aggressive is the key to winning in this meta. It's definitely way less lead dependent since you can switch, catch moves, perform all these tactics. These battles are extremely chaotic and kind of all over the place, and I'm not really sure what my win con is until absolutely super late. For those who are asking who's drawing, this is my lovely girlfriend Cindy. That's also drawing on the side. I'm at around 2,600 at this point in time, and so we have Talonflame into Ninetales. I have Electivire as my safe switch. So very interesting they decide to stay in. So I'm not entirely sure what they're doing here. So I let this go. I'm going to build up to 2. The Weather Ball does hurt, and these charms are chunking, but I do end up winning the Zero Shield with energy coming out of it. I thought about undercharging there, but pretty straightforward. I'm going to say just safe switch here. Come out of this matchup. I am going to take this Power Up Punch or Ice Punch. It is a Power Up Punch. 1, 2, 3. I should have thrown, to be honest, I should have just thrown the Wild Charge a little bit sooner. I was just thinking too much about the old clock here. And I'm going to go into Medicham here. The reason why I switched out is because I think that they're double weak to Talonflame, but that might end up just being Medicham that's weak to Talonflame, which is why they want to switch out. I shield this because I expect this to be the Psychic, and it is. And I'm going to throw the Psychic on my own. They actually come into Politoed here. I probably should have popped first, but this is okay. Very interesting that they didn't... Well, maybe Medicham is not that much better than... well, it's definitely better than Alolan Ninetales, so... especially Charm 1. So now I'm going to Power Up Punch here. I do miss some bubbles here. I got to get used to this fighting one a little more. And I'm going to let this go. Oh no, I shield it. Okay, I shield it. Okay. I think they have a Psychic here. So I make a mistake here. I should have caught the move. Or I should have thrown the Flame Charge right away. But that's okay. I should have switched and Flame Charged. So I do Flame Charge here. But this matchup is pretty hopeless for me right now. They're not going to be able to get to another move. And they should be able to make it to the Weather Ball here. But they don't end up making to the Weather Ball, which, as you can see on my face, I'm very confused at what happened there, because it's 5 turns to... It's like 4 turns to make the Weather Ball, and 5 turns to do the 2... So here I'm talking with Math Magic and Cindy about it, and very confused there, but... And my chat is saying paid actors, but they probably just overtapped or something. I'm not entirely sure why. Thank you, Woo Man, for the sub. These are all teams recommended by my chat, so I basically just play a bunch of different random teams. Some of them spicy, some of them more meta. So again, if you're looking for me to play your team, come to Twitch, save up 1,500 channel points, and then I'll go ahead and run it. So Talonflame versus Umbreon here. So what do I do here? I think I throw the Brave Bird here. And then I'm going to dip. So they need 2 more to make it to the move. So, okay. So I decided not to shield this because I expect a hard counter to come in. This does do pretty good sizable chunk of damage. They come into Tropius, which is pretty interesting since I resist the air slash damage. And I make a mistake here. So I save the move. I don't know why. To be honest, I should just thrown the punch there. Maybe I think I could farm down. They actually come into Jellicent. It's okay. And then I'm looking to make it to this Flame Charge here. And I do make it to the Flame Charge, which is great for me. Then I make a mistake here. They're very low. I was trying to go for the Wild Charge. I really should just went for the Ice Punch there, because the Ice Punch definitely would have KO'd. So I go into Talonflame here. And I really hope that they Shadow Ball. They do. And I go into Medicham. And as you can see here, I kind of messed up here. I should have threw one more counter. And then Power Up Punch. They end up surviving. They actually end up surviving with 1 HP. I let this first one go, expect it to be a Leaf Blade bait. And it is. I'm going to have to shield the second one. I do have to land the Psychic here. And then I throw the Psychic, which is perfectly fine for me. Does KO. They come back Umbreon. And they even switch in on the counter, but they're still able to get the move off. And I end up getting Shadow Balled. So a couple mistakes on my end on that point of view. Should have just thrown the Ice Punch. There's no way I was going to make it to the move. I don't know why I thought I could make the move. Maybe I thought I had a little bit more health, or the Hex would do a little bit less damage. And if I would have been able to, or if I would have hit all the bubbles on the Power Punch, maybe I would have KO'd, or did the one extra counter before throwing the Power Punch. So here, I'm trying to catch the Rock Slide. So I throw 2 here, hoping that they throw right away, but they obviously don't. Smart player. I'm going to let this go, because I know it does in one shot. And I'm going to look to Wild Charge here, which I should be able to take a shield or KO the Melmetal. And then they come in with Mew. So they get like 2 off, 2 or 3 Shadow Claws off. So I have to go back into Talonflame for sure. And man, they make a huge call here that I don't Brave Bird their Mew. So very nice call by them. I'm going to shield this. That is pretty... And they actually end up Dragon Clawing me. So I'm going to Flame Charge again. And they come into Melmetal. I expect them to throw the Rock Slide right away, since they have the energy loaded. They actually end up superpowering, which is kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. They stay in for quite a bit. Looking to time my Psychic at the appropriate time. So I throw the Psychic here, which will end up doing quite a bit of damage. And then I'm looking to catch the move here, but I'm not able to, which is okay for me. They Brave Bird. And then I think they switch out. Okay, I throw the Power Up Punch here, hoping to draw the shield, because they are very debuffed at this point in time. They do shield, and then I'm like, man, they threw the superpower at me. I really hope that this is not a Thunderbolt or something. I end up countering down, and then I have a shield left, so I should be able to get to the move. And if I couldn't get the move, I still can counter down. So worked out perfectly fine for me. They definitely had to Incinerate down, so I was able to play out of that kind of tough lead. Obviously, Rock Slide would one-shot Talonflame, but the Incinerates are doing quite a bit of damage to Melmetal. So Swampert. So this is absolutely the worst lead for me. So I go straight into Electivire, and I'm gonna throw the Wild Charge, even though we're both Shadow. Even though this is resisted, this will still do a lot of damage. They end up switching out into Abomasnow, and I'm able to land this Ice Punch, which is very nice for me. And I switch out into Talonflame. I was really hoping to get... They got a move and the charge move through. I didn't get any fast moves through. We experienced a little bit of lag here. All of a sudden, their Abomasnow is gone. So that's a little unfortunate for them. So I shield this, because they're pretty low. And I'm going to Flame Charge here, boost my Incinerate damage. And then I let this go. It almost cost me the game letting this go, actually, to be honest. But I'm going to go into Medicham. I'm going to Power Up Punch right away. I make a mistake here, because this is only enough for a Power Up Punch. It was like 2 off the foul play, so I don't know why I shielded, but it's okay. And then you just need 2 more for the next Power Up Punch. But I'm going to be able to put it really low. 1, 2. Here's the Power Up Punch, and then I think I switch out right away. I switch out right away to Talonflame. They also switch out into Swampert. Unfortunately, they switch into Incinerate for them, and then I'm able to Incinerate down, and that's going to be a GG. Swampert lead is super tough for this team. Politoed a little bit less, because obviously with the ground typing. Not as bad. Going Talonflame into Mew. So I switch out into Electivire right away. My safe switch here. I throw the Ice Punch, hoping that they would shield. Also allow me to preserve some health. So I do end up shielding here, hoping that's not a Flame Charge. It actually ends up being a Flame Charge. I throw the Wild Charge here, hoping for the CMP. I don't get it, so I switch. And then I get the extra Incinerate, which is really huge for me here. And then Math Magic was telling me to Flame Charge here, but I just undertap and throw the Brave Bird, because they do have two moves here. So I'm end up Brave Birding unnecessarily. And then I switch out right away. And then they come into Arcanine. And then I'm going to be able to beat Arcanine to the move. It's only 8 counters for me to get to the Psychic. It's 9 turns for them to get to any of their moves, Wild Charge or Crunch. And then they come into Machamp here. I make a mistake here. I really should have just went for the Psychic, to be honest. I am going for the Power Punch. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not entirely sure why I went for the Power Punch. And then I go into Talonflame. And then I'm going to be able to get off 3 Incinerates worth of damage. Which will put them like super low, and then they Rock Slide me, and then I'm gonna just Thunder Shock them down with Shadow Electivire. So I end up winning good amount of games with that team. Next one I'm gonna use is a very tough team here. Is I end up using Haydonis, who's a Twitch streamer. Definitely check him out. I'm kind of screwed here. There's not really any conceivable way for me to win this match here. So I think I let this go. Maybe I could have shielded, got to another one. But I'm in a really tricky situation here. So I'm basically going to go 2 shields on Vigoroth, farm this all the way down. This Leaf Blade is going to put me really low. This raised leaf damage is super oppressive here. So I let this go, and then I switch in, and unfortunately they have a Medicham. They just blind swap to the Medicham, which I guess worked out okay for them too. So they have Power Punch, which also makes this matchup basically over for me. I tried to switch and catch the move or something. I'm not really too entirely sure what I was trying to do there. That's okay. And it's going to be a GG for that first game. Pretty rough there. Not really too much I could do. I tried to CMP and throw the move at the same time, but this was going to be really unlikely for me. Alright, so this is a good lead for me. They farm up a little bit here. I go into Vigoroth. I thought this was a mistake because I expected it to be a Bastion in the back. I'm going to shield this first Earthquake, and then I'm going to count to 5, and then throw the Bulldoze. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hoping the CMP to the Rock Slide. So if they shield us, I can pretty much counter them down afterwards. They let it go. 1. So I throw the Body Slam here just to chip away at this Venusaur. They're like 3 away, maybe 2 away. 1, 2. Okay, they're 2 away. They put it through exactly when they had the energy. And then I go into Ninetales. They make a very nice catch here. That actually works out a little bit okay for me, because it definitely helps with the Sableye matchup. Since I'm down a shield, I need this Shadow Claw damage to really add up. So I can definitely live 2 Rock Slides or at least one, I should say. So I throw the foul play here. Really need to get the second one. 1, 2. I'm able to get the second one. They definitely had the energy already, but they're thinking about the Ninetales matchup as well. I let it go at this point in time. There's no point in me shielding. And I go into Ninetales here, and I CMP here, which is okay, because I know the Rock Slide's not going to KO. The Sludge Bomb would KO from Venusaur, but the Venusaur has very little energy, so it's extremely unlikely that they would get to it. But I decided to play it safe. Plus their health is kind of low, so I'm able to just Powder Snow down the Shadow Venusaur, so that's going to be a GG. Okay, so we go into the Ninetales mirror. So I do have Dazzling Gleam, which is the preferred moveset in the mirror, because it does a lot more damage, and it's neutral compared to Psyshock is also neutral. So I decided to shield this because I expect it to be a Dazzling Gleam as well. They come into Medicham, a little bit slow in the switch here. I do the extra Shadow Claw through, which is great. I expect this to be an Ice Punch. And it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I throw on the CMP to the second Ice Punch. And then I switch out to Venusaur, or not Venusaur, into Vigoroth, and they actually come back into Ninetales, which I just end up straight up countering down because they have no energy. And a Body Slam here twice. They're probably not going to shield the second one, which they don't end up doing because it doesn't KO. But this game is basically over at this point in time. Ninetales was definitely a really big core breaker for their team. So I'm sure when they saw the Dazzling Gleam land and they didn't shield, they thought it was going to basically be over at that point in time. This is a very strong team in the meta. It's very spammy. Both Vigoroth and Sableye are really great safe switches. Obviously, Bastion lead, really tough, especially since what Bastion typically covers is really tough for the backline. So this is good for me. They're lagging a little bit, so I let them get a couple of moves there. I let this go. I'm going to farm up a little bit. Oh, actually, no, I don't farm up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. I guess I don't want them to Shadow Claw me down, which ends up being maybe slightly worse for me. I do end up getting the foul play off, but they do have probably like 8 Vine Whips now, and they're almost going to get to double. Yeah, they basically have like 80 energy right now, so they're probably going to frenzy me here because I'm almost certainly going to shield. They do bait, and they come into G-Fest here. I do get a few Powder Snows off. I'm not going to shield G-Fist here because basically I'm not going to shield against the G-Fist with Vigoroth, mostly because it's already done its job. I'm hoping to CMP tie onto the Rock Slide. Actually, I think I'm doing one early. Yeah, I did one early, but they ended up throwing right away anyway, so they didn't get any extra one. And then I know I'm in a pretty good spot here. And they actually switch in onto Venusaur. I think they were one short of the Frenzy. So they're trying to get some additional energy off. But unfortunately, I have too much energy for them. And then one Weather Ball is enough. I really thought about Dazzling Gleam there, but it's okay. It's gonna be GG. So I pick up a very nice win off of nice lead, but I was able to maintain it with some really nice gameplay. Alright, I'm going Ninetales into G-Fist. I go straight into Sableye. I'm looking to CMP tie on the Earthquake. For some reason, they have the Earthquake energy, so I decide to shield it. Throw the foul play here. They don't shield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought about them throwing the rock slide, so now they're at 6. They just need one more for the next earthquake. And then so I decided to shield this one as well. So they need 5 more for the rock slide. 8. Oh my god, they come to Jellicent. And then so they just need 1 more for the move. I really thought about catching the move here, but then they were really smart here. They threw the Ice Beam, so I decided to go into Ninetales here, and then I'm looking to catch the Shadow Ball with Vigoroth, because I very much doubt that they throw the Ice Beam. They threw the Ice Beam because in case I tried to catch, that they wouldn't be caught in this type of situation. Okay, so they have an Ice Beam here, which is totally fine for me. I double resist the Hex damage, so it doesn't really do that much. And then I throw here. Doesn't KO. And then I switch out into Ninetales, which is also another reason I like Dazzling Gleam. It gives me a more secure fighting matchup. Almost KOs with the Dazzling Gleam. And I'm able to farm it down before it gets able to get to a move. And then I could have farmed a little bit more here, especially since they just threw, so I could do like 3 more Powder Snows, but this game is basically over. I'm able to, they end up just straight up leaving the match. And I believe that's the last one for the evening, or for that evening. Anyways, I have a lot of fun with these 30-second clocks, and those are just 2 effective teams that you might want to try out. Anyways, I'm going to leave there. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.